Seattle's pledge to defund its police department by 50%, even including a proposal to remove 911 dispatchers from police control.
Joe Biden said he's absolutely on board with defunding the police. Listen closely.
Yes, absolutely.
Hello, you've reached 911. I'm sorry that there is no one here to answer your emergency call, but leave a message and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Crime will rise significantly.
Shalom. First and foremost, giving all acknowledgement to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, giving double honors to the men in whom I learned this truth from, beginning with the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. And though I've been out a part of any camps, I learned and I studied under the Great Millstone doctrine. All right, and I was watching a video, and of course, you a lot of times you watch videos and these different ads pop up. And this particular ad that was pretty much endorsed by Trump, dealing with the whole issue of defunding the police, and the dangers that could happen, if pretty much, there's no policemen, which, that whole narrative of defunding the police, of course it's gonna, if you think about it, if someone's trying to, like they just showed in this ad, this clip, if someone's trying to break into your house, or if someone is breaking into your home and, you go to dial 911 and they're pretty much, they're out of service, that something like that, it's going to leave a lot of people, in some serious danger, and then, seeing this, just has me meditating, had me meditating on things, different precepts, because again, just going to get this. It's our job, to tell you these things on how bad it's going to get out here, whether, whether you be young or old, or whatever the case may be, because, first you can get this in Acts 10, where it tells you that the Lord is no respecter of persons, See if I gotta look for it real quick. Bear with me. Acts 10 and 34. It says, Then Peter opened his mouth and said, Of a truth I perceive that the Most High is no respecter of persons. So you see, whether you're old or young, listen, the Lord, He doesn't care. All right. If you're not keeping the law, statutes, or commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, you're gonna get it. Whether it be in this life or, or whether in your past lives or whatever the case, the Lord doesn't discriminate. But again, I'm going to Jeremiah 15, because again, it's our job to tell you of these things. These things are going to happen. A lot of death and mass destruction is coming to this place. Well, more so all the earth, but even more so here in America. All right, Babylon the Great, as America is described in the Bible, is one of the many code names of America in the Bible. Babylon the Great, this great whore, there's going to be a lot of mass destruction and death. All right, and it's our job to tell you these things. Reading Jeremiah 15, starting at verse 1, it says, Then said Yahweh unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward this people. Cast them out of my sight and let them go forth. All right. Verse 2 says, And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, Whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, Thus saith Yahweh, such as are for the deaf to deaf, and such as are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine, and such as are for the captivity to the captivity. All right. So again, it's going to get real bad out here. And again, it's our job, which, we've been doing for years. We've been telling people, certain people, they're going to die by, when these different civil wars pop off. You're going to have a lot of people die by the gun. You're going to have a lot of people dying by, lack of food, starvation, sicknesses and diseases. Just um, all manner of hell is going to be brought loose. It's going to be set loose out here. All right, and again, it's our job to tell you these things. It's going to get bad. Whether they keep the policemen or not, these local law enforcement agencies or not, which more than likely, they're probably going to do away with them. It's going to be it's going to get to the point where you're going to have a real life purge out here. Just like you've seen out there with the out there in Seattle, the whole autonomous zone and whatnot. You're gonna have people linking up and clicking up, riding together for food and for sources, resources. All right, because it's gonna get so bad out here. You're gonna have people. Once the military comes down and those different UN troops or Gurkha troops, when they start coming through, they're not gonna be sparing anyone. As it tells you in 2nd Ezra 16th chapter, they're going to be like madmen, sparing none. It's going to be all hell out here, man. And again, because we've been saying these things for years, beginning with the apostles, the elders, warning the people of these things for years. You go to 2 Timothy's 3 and verse 1, it tells you, for this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. All right, let me just see the definition for perilous. Just see what they have here as far as that definition.
Strong's G 5467. Chalepas. Chalepas.
And it says hard to do, to take, to approach, hard to bear, troublesome, dangerous. That's the word I was looking for. All right, because that's exactly, what's going to be taking place out here. It's going to be real. We're heading into some real dangerous times. That's what people are failing to realize and to understand. The scriptures talk about, when pretty much right when things seem to be going back normal and things are starting to open up and victuals are cheap, then sudden destruction, and though they're not really enforcing a lockdown like that, eventually they will. Eventually there's gonna be martial law is gonna be to the fullest extent, right? No one's gonna be able to come to or fro. All right, but again, the people that they don't have it in their mind. Well, ultimately because Yahweh Shem Shai pretty much blinded them, but ultimately this is a place of no faith. So just because it's not happening right now, people they think nothing of it, and again, though you have the prophets, they've been saying these things for years. That's exactly the problem with people, because these things have been saying, they've been said for years, and it seems like nothing's happening, nothing's, they've been saying these things for years, and it just seems like nothing's going on. Well, again, that day, if you're in that mindset, that day is going to catch you as a thief in the night. Because for without a shadow of a doubt, we are heading into some extremely dangerous times, and if you don't have that protection, that hedge of protection, as it speaks about in Ezekiel 9 and 4, It says, and Yahweh said unto me, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem. And it's talking about, because Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. All right. And it says, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Because again, if you're in the right state of mind, you have the right mind frame, you want to get the hell out of here. Understanding that this is not our rest, this is not our peace. We hate this place. All right. Real quick, the scriptures tell you that being in the house of mourning, in Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 2, it says, it is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. So you see, it's better to be in a position of where you just, constantly, you just tired and you're fed up, you're frustrated, being in the land of our captivity, it's better to be in the house of mourning rather than the house of feasting. A lot of people, a lot of jakes out here, still in that spirit of, just of laughter, of mirth and joy. They brought somewhat of the NBA back, but again, the scriptures tell you it's better to be in the house of mourning, being in the position where you're constantly crying out to Yahweh Shem Shai to destroy this place and bring this place down. When you jump to verse, or I'll just read verse 3, it says, sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance the heart is made better. So you see, this is not the time to be all, lovey-dovey and happy. This is not the time for that. We want to get the hell out. We want to get the hell out of this place. And those, you have certain individuals, the real men of the Lord, and some women and children, they're crying out to Yahweh Shem Shai to destroy this place. Constantly crying out in agony, because we hate this place. We're tired of this place. We're tired of this oppression. But again, you have certain individuals and certain people, they're still living it up. So that's why going back to Ezekiel 9:4, where it says those that are crying out to Yahweh Shem Shai, those are the ones that are going to have this spiritual mark. And this is not talking about the same mark in Revelation 13 that we're always bringing out. No, this is a different mark. All right, the mark in Revelation 13 is when you read the definition, or you go into the word, it goes back to karagma. But the word mark here, this is why it's good to look up words. I believe it's the tawa, I believe. Yeah, I'm not going to get into, the whole Hebrew breakdown, but I believe the word there would be the tawa. All right. And this is the mark that we pray for. All right. Because when things do get bad, we're going to have that spiritual, that protection, that hedge of protection from Yahweh Shem Shai. All right. And this is what this precept is going into, those that are crying out, those that are in the house of mourning. All right. The Lord is setting a mark upon those that are crying out to him. All right. Because they're going to be, they're going to be protected. They're going to be safe when all hell breaks loose in these dangerous times, Jacob's trouble. All right. They're going to be protected. But as for everyone else, those that are in that spirit of laughter and mirth and joy, the house of feasting. When you read verse 5, it says, and to the others, he said, in mine hearing go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eye spare, neither have pity. Have ye pity. Verse 6, it says, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. So you see, like I said, like I quoted earlier in Acts the 10th chapter, the Lord has no respect of persons, old and young. If you don't have this mark of protection, this spiritual protection, that hedge of protection from Yahweh Shem Shai, you're going to get caught out there. You're not going to have that protection, You know, and that's yeah, man. That's a scary thing when you know the fear and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. That's a scary thing. You know, we're entering into times that have never been since the earth was created. You know, and you know, I saw that. Like I said, you know, I saw that ad. You know, and just just had me meditate on these precepts because, again, you know, whether they defund the police or not, you know, either way, you know, it's going to get bad out here. You know, and if, again, you know, you don't have that protection, you're pretty much done. You know, you're done for. You know, so you know, I just wanted to touch on that real quick. You know, Yahweh Ratazah, you were edified, and once again, giving all acknowledgement to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and double honors, much respects to the men in whom I learned this truth from, beginning with the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. Until next time, Shalom.